Today we're going to be talking about one of the worst places you can be in the creative process, when you're smack dab in the middle of a creative project and you wonder if it's even worth moving on. That's right, the ugly middle stages. We're going to be talking about them and how to get past them coming up. What's going on, guys, and welcome to Your Creative Push, the podcast and YouTube channel that pushes you to pursue your creative passions. I'm your host, Youngman Brown, and today I'm going to be your tour guide as we go through a familiar spot that you might have been in already in the creative process, and that is the ugly middle stages. To illustrate what I mean by ugly middle stages, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, perhaps it's best to illustrate what your creative journey might look like. And we'll start out with the easy way. So the most rare and delightful type of creative process is whenever it is downhill from start to finish. You get the idea, you get right to work, and from start to finish, you complete the project. It's super rare, but it does happen, and I applaud you when it does happen, because those are the moments that we live for as creative people, when it's just easy peasy. But more likely than not, you're most commonly going to face the roadmap of this roller coaster. And the sad part about this roller coaster is that before you even start, you have to go uphill. You have to face your fears and your doubts about this idea that you just got before you even start doing the work. And that is one of the main goals of your creative push, is to actually push past this and get right to work and try to ignore some of those resistances. And there's 350 episodes that you can listen to try to face those fears and get past them. And I'll let you listen to those episodes so that you can get some bravery and get some courage and maybe make your roadmap look a little bit easier so you can avoid that first hump and start downhill when you get right to work. And that's what this roadmap looks like. So now you start at the top. You get the idea and you start right away. Everything is downhill and easy peasy until you get to the first valley. And you get to that ugly middle stage where the doubts and the fears all creep back in. And you're also faced with these new questions that you didn't foresee coming up when you first started. And things are difficult now. You have to answer some difficult questions about which direction to go to finish this project. Maybe you have to sleep on things to answer those questions. Maybe you have to try and fail a couple times, something that nobody wants to do. That's not very downhill-like. So it's pretty sad to be in that middle stage where you are doubting things. But what I want to try to do with this video is to encourage you that once you get to that middle stage, to be actually happy that you are now in a spot where the resistance has come up. You've seen this before, you know that other people have gone through it, and now that you're at this stage, you know that you just need to do a little bit of extra work, that things are worth pushing through so you can get back up to that next peak, and then things can go downhill again once you have answered those questions and got past those fears, where everything feels better. Because what's the alternative? If you start at the top and go down to that valley, and once you reach that valley, you get scared, you get those fears, you get those doubts, you get all these questions, and that causes you to delay, that causes you to sit in that valley. You're stuck in that valley, and that is not where you want to get stuck. Like I said, sometimes you need to sleep on it, sometimes you need to try and fail, but the important thing is that you keep moving, because this could go on literally forever. You can keep going with this resistance into perpetuity. You can just stop the project on a low note. And that is not a good feeling to have. So you need to keep things moving along that roller coaster. Even if it is tougher to go uphill, the harder you work to go uphill, the higher you get. And trust me, when you get to that high point, the feeling of going over that curve is so fun as you finish up the project. So at the start of this video, I promised you that I would help you to get past these ugly middle stages. And that was true, but also false. And it's false because it's really up to you to get past those ugly middle stages. It's going to vary from person to person, what it takes to get past that. And it's also going to vary for you from project to project. Perhaps sometimes it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Sometimes it's laziness. Sometimes it's the fact that life is crazy and life gets in the way. And sometimes it's the fact that you bit off more than you can chew with a really huge, meaningful project, and it's going to require you to take off sort of these bite-sized chunks of it, piece by piece. But the true part of what I promised is that once you recognize that you are on this roller coaster, you realize that this happens to everybody, that you're not alone. When you get to this valley and you can see where you are on that path, you realize that, okay, I just got to go uphill. And once I get to the top of this hill, it's all downhill from there once again, as I rush towards and race towards the end of this project where I see the answers, where I see the end in sight. So when you can see yourself on this journey, with each project that you complete, you can see that you took the path. It was easy, then it was hard, and then it was easy again. You can start to trust yourself that you just have to build up past those ugly middle stages, put in the hard dedication, time, work, and courage to get past them. And then the harder and harder you push, the better and better it feels when you actually complete that project. So it's really learning to trust yourself on that roller coaster. So just realize that you are not alone. You are not a weak creative person because you have to face these ugly middle stages. It's something that we all go through as creative people, but it is up to you and up to you alone to sort of wade past these ugly, murky, quicksand feelings of the ugly middle stages, to fight that uphill battle. If you have to sleep on it, that's fine. But when you come back to it, just push, and push past the fear, the doubt, and the uncertainty, and create that thing that you're supposed to create, because the universe deserves your creativity and you are the universe. I love you all, and we'll see you next time.